Question number 121. Which is the largest dome in the world? The answer is St. Peter's Basilica Dome. The Golgumba's Dome is the second largest in the world after St. Peter's Basilica in Rome. The huge chamber of 135 feet each wall and 178 feet height contains an elevated platform on which five cenotaphs are placed. Those of Muhammad Adil Shah, his wife Arus Bibi, daughter, a grandson, and his favorite mistress Namba. Question number 122. Who among the following were sent by Aurangzeb to capture Shivaji? The answer is Shaista Khan, Jai Singh. The Marathas under Shivaji were a threat to Aurangzeb. Aurangzeb sent two of his great generals, Shaista Khan and Jai Singh, one after other, to capture Shivaji. Question number 123. Who among the following captured Shivaji? The answer is Jai Singh. Jai Singh captured Shivaji and took him to Delhi, but Shivaji managed to escape to Deccan. Aurangzeb was severely tested by Marathas till his death in 1707 as the sons of Shivaji continued the rebellion. Question number 124. When did Shivaji die? The answer is 1680. Shivaji, employing guerrilla tactics, defied the Mughal forces till his death at the age of 53 in 1680. The death of Aurangzeb in 1707 marked a watershed in Indian history as the Mughal Empire virtually came to an end, even though the weak successors of Aurangzeb held the throne to next 150 years. Question number 125. When was Shambhaji was captured and executed? The answer is 1689. Aurangzeb sent a formidable army under his son Akbar to subdue the rebellious Rajput kings, but the emperor had not reckoned with his son's traitorous conduct. Akbar had declared himself the emperor but was compelled to flee to the Deccan, where he enlisted the help of Shivaji's son Shambhaji. Shambhaji was captured in 1689 and executed, and the sultanates of Bijapur and Golconda were also reduced to utter submission. Question number 126. Which of the following statement is correct? Towards the end of his reign, Aurangzeb's empire began to disintegrate. Many of his political appointees broke loose and declared themselves independent. The answer is both the statements are correct. Towards the end of his reign, Aurangzeb's empire began to disintegrate, and this process was accelerated in the years after his death, when successive states came into existence. The empire had become too large and unwieldy. Aurangzeb did not have enough trustworthy men at his command to manage the more far flung parts of the empire. Shortly after the death of Aurangzeb, the Mughal Empire ceased to an effective force into the political life of India. Question number 127. Which of the following statement is correct? Aurangzeb reimposed jizya, new temples were not constructed, number of Hindu officials were decreased. The answer is A and B alone. Aurangzeb reimposed jizya. He also issued orders to the new temple should not be constructed, but the repairing of old long-standing temples were permitted. These measures were rooted not only in his religious faith but also due to political compulsions. As a staunch Muslim, Aurangzeb had discontinued the practice of levying abwab, a tax levied on the lands over and above the original rent, not sanctioned by Sharia. It should be noted that during of reign of Aurangzeb, the number of Hindu officials increased. Question number 128. What was the population of India during 18th century? The answer is 20 crores. The population of India is estimated to have been around 15 crores in the 16th century and 20 crores in the 18th century. Large areas of land were under forest cover and area under cultivation would have been much less. Question number 129. Who was the headman of the village in Mughal society? The answer is Mukhadam. Though the nature, composition, and governance of village differed from place to place, there was a certain similarities in the village administration. The Mukhadam formed the Panch, which is Panchayat, an administrative organ of the village. The Panch was responsible for collection and maintenance of account at the village level, and the Panch allotted the unoccupied lands of the village to artisans, menials, and servants for their service to village. Question number 130. What does the term Hakim means in Mughal times? The answer is doctor. The middle class consisted of small mansabdas, petty shopkeepers, hakims who were doctors, musicians, artists, petty officials of Mughal administration. Question number 131. Which of these class received salaried grants from Mughal emperor? The answer is Madad I Mash. There was a salaried class and received grants called Madad I Mash from the Mughal emperor, local rulers and zamindars. This section often became part of the rural gentry and a link between the village and town. Question number 132. Which cities ranked along with the contemporary European cities like London and Paris? The answer is Dhaka and Lahore. Delhi, Agra, Fatehpur Sikri, Lahore, Ahmedabad, Dhaka, and Multan were the important cities of the empire which could be ranked along with the contemporary European cities like London and Paris. Question number 133. Which of the following statement is correct? The lower Mughal society men wore just a langota and the woman a sari. The nobles were mansabdas who received jagirs or land grants as payment according to their ranks. The answer is both the statements are correct. The inequality in the standard of life amongst the privileged and underprivileged classes were clear. Among the lower strata of society, the men wore just a langota and the woman a sari. Footwear was not common. On the contrary, the Mughal privileged class consisting of zamindars and nobles led ostentatious life. The nobles were mansabdas who received jagirs or land grants as payment according to their ranks. The jagirdars were exploitative and oppressive in nature. Question number 134. Who wrote Aini Akbari? The answer is Abul Fazl. The Zamindars, members of dominant class and caste with armed retainers, were a dominant class with privilege over lands of the peasants. Abul Fazl, in his Aini Akbari, enlists the caste that were entitled to be Zamindars. While mostly upper caste Hindus and Rajputs were Zamindars in certain localities, Muslim Zamindars also existed. The Zamindars had the right to evict the peasants in default of payment of rent. Question number 135. What percentage of Rajputs were there in Akbar nobility? The answer is 15. It is estimated that during the reign of Akbar, over 15% of nobility consisted of Rajputs. Raja Mansingh, Raja Todarmal, and Raja Birbal were Rajput nobles of repute during Akbar. Question number 136. Under whom does Shivaji's father Shaji worked? The answer is Shah Jahan. The Rajputs appointed Kayasthas and Khatris for various positions in government administration. Jahangir, Shah Jahan, and Aurangzeb employed Marathas in their nobility. For example, Shahji, father of Shivaji, served Shah Jahan for some time. Question number 137. What was the main reason for migrations from Central Asia into India? The answer is career prospects. There was continuous migrations from Central Asia as there were better career prospects in India. These migrations led to the enrichment of culture through assimilation of diversity. Though nobility was divided on ethnic lines, they formed a composite class promoting syncretic culture by patronizing painters, musicians, and singers of both Persian and Indian origin. Question number 138. Which of the following is correct during Mughal society? The Hindu woman had only limited right of inheritance. Widow remarriage was not permitted among upper caste women. The answer is both the statements are correct. The Hindu woman had only limited right of inheritance. Widow remarriage was not permitted among upper caste women. Along with the household activities, the women were involved in spinning yarn and helped in agriculture operations. Mughal administration discouraged the practice of sati that was prevalent among communities of the higher caste. Question number 139. What does meher means? The answer is money mandatorily paid by groom. Muslim brides were entitled to receive meher, which was the money mandatorily paid by the groom at the time of marriage, and also had the right to inherit property, though it was not equal to the share of the male members of the family. Question number 140. Aini Akbari list crops cultivated during which season? The answer is Kharif Rabi. The Aini Akbari lists the various crops which were cultivated during the Rabi and Kharif seasons, and zamindars and village headmen possessed large tracts of land in which they employed laborers and paid them in cash and kind. Well irrigation was the dominant mode of irrigation. Question number 141. In which century tobacco and maize were introduced in India? The answer is 17th century. Tobacco and maize were introduced in the 17th century. Chili and groundnut came later. Pineapple was introduced in the 16th century. Question number 142. Which of the following statement is correct? Grafted varieties of mango came to be developed by the Portuguese. Indigo was another important commercial crop during the Mughal period. Sericulture underwent spectacular growth in Bengal. The answer is all the statements are correct. Grafted varieties of mango came to be developed by Portuguese. Potato, tomato, guava came later. Indigo was another important commercial crop during the Mughal period. Sericulture underwent spectacular growth in Bengal to the extent that it became the chief supplier of silk to world trade.